Y'all, we're finally bringing you some Love Island content. And let me tell you, the internet is convinced that Jess Hilarious woke up and chose violence because she went straight for Nicolandria. That might have been the worst move she's made in a long time. What started as simple shade about fake love quickly turned into a brutal dragging, one so bad that Jess had to delete her own words just to escape it. Olandria lit her up like she had been waiting for this exact moment, and she wasn't fighting alone. Nicolandria's fans stood shoulder to shoulder with her, telling Jess to take several seats. And from the looks of it, Jess definitely got the message loud and clear. Y'all know I couldn't just let this slide, so let's break it down. Are you part of the Nicolandria hive? Drop that in the chat. Because first of all, what was this even about? Let's check out the moment that started all the drama.
It will be when that moment of weakness and that's not fair, you know? So after all of that, I said, you know what? I'm so happy that I was blessed with this guy who allows me to bask in my femininity, you know what I mean? Allows me to be soft. You know what? He takes the wheel. Usually I'm a control freak. I'll let him do everything, you know? So I want to go to Europe. We was in Europe. I want to be a model. I was in 2 shoots, you know what I mean? Like, the support that I have from this guy is unreal. So it allows me to be the soft woman that I've always wanted to be.
You probably watched that moment grinning from ear to ear, because who doesn't love love? Well, self-appointed body language expert Jess Hilarious had plenty of shade to throw. But before we get into Jess's comments, let's rewind and talk about the love story between Olandria and Nick. It's important to understand the context to see where Jess's remarks were really coming from. Now, this love story didn't just appear out of nowhere. Everyone knows they met on Love Island US Season 7, but here's the twist. Neither of them was each other's first choice. Nick was originally paired up with Sierra, while Olandria had a connection with Taylor. Both of them seemed locked into their own separate situations. But here's where it gets interesting. Fans noticed something unusual during the show. Even while Nick was with someone else, he couldn't help but make his feelings for Olandria known. During challenges, he'd drop hints, shower her with compliments, and even try to steal kisses every chance he got, making it clear he was into her. The only issue? Olandria didn't fully catch on. She thought he was just playing along with the challenges. And then, just when it seemed like their paths were set, the story took a completely unexpected turn. When Taylor ditched Olandria for Clark, it left her single. And as fate would have it, Sierra, Nick's love interest at the time, was suddenly out of the picture as well. Her past came back to haunt her when old tweets resurfaced, revealing offensive and racist comments about Asian people. That controversy forced her off the show, leaving Nick single too. With both Nick and Olandria newly available, their hearts were wide open, and that's when the producers stepped in like puppet masters. They saw the chemistry that had always been there and basically said, y'all need to stop playing and make this happen, because the whole world can see what's going on. From that moment forward, the two became inseparable. And now, this is the same relationship Jess Hilarious wants to call fake? Nick and Olandria's fans weren't having it, firing back with a firm, sit down. The truth is, if Nick and Olandria were only chasing clout, they would have crumbled under the chaos of Love Island. Instead, they came out stronger. Their bond has only deepened since the cameras stopped rolling. From brand deals to trips around the world, including a getaway to Greece, their relationship has continued to thrive. In case you missed what sparked all this drama, let's break it down again. Recently, Jess Hilarious decided to stir the pot a little too much after the Shade Room posted a clip from Nicolandria's interview on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. During the interview, Olandria absolutely gushed over Nick. She said, "I'm so happy that I was blessed with this guy who allows me to bask in my femininity. He lets me be soft, even though I'm usually a control freak. I told him I wanted to go to Europe. Next thing you know, we're in Europe. I said I wanted to be a model, and suddenly I'm booked for 2 shoots." She went on to describe how Nick supports her dreams, makes her feel safe, and always delivers on his promises. From Teen Vogue shout-outs to modeling campaigns, Nick has consistently put his girl in positions to win. Now, while many fans saw this as a sweet and genuine exchange between the couple, Jess saw it in a completely different light.
I'm so happy that I was blessed with this guy who allows me to bask in my femininity. You know what I mean? Allows me to be soft. You know what? He takes the wheel. Usually I'm a control freak. I'll let him do everything.
Jess was worried about eye contact. Seriously? Eye contact? Eye contact doesn't land you Vogue spread, sis. It doesn't fly you out to Europe, sis. Many felt like Jess was simply nitpicking body language while Nick was out here literally changing Olandria's life. According to Jess, Nick and Olandria's relationship didn't even look real. She claimed it was all just a performance for the cameras. But she didn't stop there. Jess focused on the fact that Nick wasn't making direct eye contact with Olandria while she was praising him, and in true Jess fashion, she threw shade, implying that he didn't deserve her and that one day Olandria would find someone better. Here's exactly what Jess said. "This is so laughable that everybody's going along with this phony. This girl will one day be with the real love of her life, someone who actually looks into her effing eyes when she's acknowledging him the way she does here. Someone who's going to speak about her the way she's speaking about Nick right now." This is all for the show. Now, to be fair, some people actually agreed with Jess, not because they disliked Nicolandria, but because they felt they had seen this movie before. History has a way of repeating itself. Take former Love Island couple Kenny and Jana, for example. For over a year, Jana believed she was in a genuine, loving relationship. Then the receipts dropped, exposing Kenny for clowning her in texts, using racial slurs, and admitting he was only with her for business opportunities. He confessed that he was never truly interested in black women and was only in it for the brand deals. Yes, he really said that. And then came another train wreck. Whitney later revealed that Logan, and even his own mother, had made racist remarks, with Logan joking about her skin being dirty. On top of that, he constantly belittled her looks and even kept tabs on her finances, counting her pockets as if her worth could be measured in dollars. Once again, it was another case of a man using a black woman for clout and access. So yes, some people have every right to be skeptical when it comes to these Love Island interracial couplings. To them, Nicolandria might be headed down the same road. Some even claimed the couple's body language and racial differences already told the story. But dragging Nick into the same box because of the sins of others? That's just reaching for drama that doesn't exist, especially when, as far as we know, he has shown nothing but green flags. Not everyone bought into the skepticism. In fact, the majority saw Jess's remarks as mean-spirited and condescending. Many described her comments as distasteful, and they made sure Jess felt the heat for what she said. When I tell you they dragged Jess for filth, baby, they did not hold back. One user snapped, "Just mind your business for the 50 millionth time. You're not hilarious. You're not funny. You're not a good radio host. Just fade into oblivion or something." And if you thought that was harsh, another user doubled down, writing, "Jess Hilarious commenting on love or relationships is laughable. She's the stereotypical black woman." Unfortunately, it's women like you, Jess, who continue to tarnish our names as black women and keep us in the statistics of being baby mamas. You're too grown and should be too busy providing for your kids because we know their dads won't. Ouch! The tea was piping hot. Another user piled on with equal force, saying, "Mind you, Jess doesn't even have anyone to talk about her like this or look into her eyes. No man on your arm who actually likes you, no man on your arm at all." But here's the twist, last time anyone checked, Jess was actually engaged. But she really should have thought about her own life choices before writing that paragraph, because those comments were just too spicy. And honestly, this wasn't anything new. Jess has a long, messy history of throwing shots at other people's relationships. She's had public fallouts, messy breakups, and fans have often accused her of projecting her own issues onto others. So when she came for Nicolandria, nobody was shocked. People just shrugged and said, "Here she goes again." At this point, Jess's remarks sounded less like shade and more like free therapy, something she should have kept private. Deleting the comment was basically her way of waving the white flag. And honestly, she had no idea Nicolandria's fans were going to come at her that hard. That's exactly what happens when you underestimate a fan base that rides hard for their favorite couple. But speaking of heat, let's not forget about Sierra. Many fans are convinced she was somewhere punching the air after watching Nicolandria's interview. Rumor has it, she might even be gearing up to film a response of her own. And if that happens, things could get a whole lot messier. Now, imagine the chaos if Sierra teamed up with Jess. Jess's bitterness combined with Sierra's grudge, both aimed at Olandria. Nicolandria's fans would have an absolute field day tearing them apart. But let's zoom out for a second, because this drama isn't just about Jess being messy or Sierra lurking in the background. It has opened the door to a much bigger conversation. Many people pointed out that this goes beyond individual grudges. It highlights the ongoing shift in how Black women and interracial couples are perceived on reality TV. Time and time again, we've seen Black women in interracial relationships doubted, disrespected, and accused of being used, just like the examples mentioned earlier. And that right there is exactly why so many fans are hypersensitive when it comes to Olandria. They don't want to see her get played. Interestingly, that's also why Nicolandria's fans are rallying so fiercely right now. It's not just about clapping back at Jess, it's about protecting Olandria's peace and holding on to the hope that this relationship makes it all the way to the aisle, ending in a real happily ever after. But here's the real question. Did the clapbacks against Jess go too far, or did she deserve every bit of it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because I'll definitely be reading through them. Maybe this isn't just about Jess being messy. Maybe it's about fans finally drawing a line in the sand, deciding to protect Olandria at all costs.